Thanks for staying with us. We're in Iowa for the Machete murder plot trial for defendant Dakota Van Patten. So this guy's accused of helping his friend kidnap and murder his girlfriend. The victim, this woman, 20-year-old Melody Hoffman. So she was dating Dakota Van Patten's friend. And the allegation is Van Patten helped that friend kill her. Now, testimony resumes at 10 a.m. Eastern, but there's a 4-hour embargo in place for when we can broadcast that testimony. So what we're doing is showing you what we haven't aired yet. We've got some key testimony that you haven't seen. So let's roll the footage of the acquaintance of the defendants who took the stand. This is where she's on direct.
Did you have some contact with Dakota Van Patten on or about the night that Melody Hoffman was killed?
Yes, I did.
Tell us how you ended up having contact with Dakota Van Patten the night that Melody Hoffman was killed.
He gave me a call and asked if he could come over and talk to me about something. And I said, sure, go ahead.
When he called, what were you doing?
I was in my room, about to go to sleep.
Did he tell you where he was when he called you?
No.
Did you then end up having contact with him in person?
Yes.
How did that happen?
He called me and told me he was here. I came downstairs because my apartment's on the top level, and he was saying, hey, what's up? I said, what's up? How are you? What's this about? He tried to give me a hug. I denied that hug. I said, what's going on? And we went upstairs into my apartment.
Okay, so that initial contact where you exchanged how are yous and he tried to give you a hug, that took place outside?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Did you give him a hug when he tried to offer you one?
I did not.
Okay. So then you went inside your residence. Where did you go inside your residence?
We went into my bedroom.
Okay. Did you let him into your apartment? Do you have any problem with that at the time?
No, I did not.
Can you describe his demeanor or kind of like how he was acting when you had contact?
He was very calm, didn't really, acted kind of normal. I didn't see any off signs, but at the same time, his vibe was kind of confusing. Like, he seemed like he had something on his mind.
He came to your house in the middle of the night, so you figured he had something on his mind.
Yeah. You don't really just show up at somebody's house in the middle of the night for that. Just a text or call,
Taya, what did he tell you he was there for?
He didn't really say. He was just saying he needed to talk to me about something that was important.
Did he tell you how he got to your apartment?
No, he did not.
Did he tell you who he had been with that night?
Yeah, he did. He told me he was with Ken.
So tell us about the conversation you had with Mr. Van Patten, starting with when he told you he wanted to tell you something. What did you say to him?
I said, so what's up? You seem like there's something on your mind, so get off your chest. What's going on? And he was like, I killed somebody. And I said, my mind just went blank. I was so confused. I was like, and you're in my house telling me this as a female that, could happen to me at any second. And I was just confused. I said, what for? Who? And he said, that Melody girl. And I said, for what? What did a poor innocent girl do to you? As a man, what did a girl do to you? And he just said it had to be done. I said, there shouldn't be nothing that had to be done about that. Not at all. So why? And he just went silent, did not say nothing to me. His demeanor was weird. He started to move a little bit and just felt, I think he was scared, maybe. I'm not sure.
So break that down a little bit then. When you asked him what he wanted to talk about, was the first thing he said, I killed somebody?
Yeah, I said, what's going on? He was like, he just didn't want to answer for a second. Then he was like, I killed somebody.
And then you asked him who?
Yeah.
And he said, did he say that Melody girl?
Yes.
And then when you asked him why, he said?
It had to be done.
It had to be done. Did he tell you that he did this with anybody?
Yes, he said he was with Ken.
What, if anything, did he do when or after he told you this? Did he make any motion towards you at all?
He tried to give me a hug again, and I was like, dude, you're weird. Get off of me. You think after you just told me that you're going to get a hug out of me? Oh, hell no. Not happening.
Did you see any weapons on him?
No, I did not. Not at that time when he was in my room, no.
Prior to that day, within like that previous week, did you see him with a weapon?
Yes, I did.
What'd you see him with?
Machete.
Okay, this is really bad. If you heard my conversation with our guest analyst just a short time ago, we were talking about how, you know, so far the evidence wasn't terrible against the defendant, and boy, did that change quickly with this witness, because we've got a confession coming in through this acquaintance who's saying that he admitted his words, I killed somebody. Then when she asked why, his words, it had to be done, is what she's testifying to. She's saying she's scared, she's shocked, doesn't understand this. And then she sees him earlier in the week with a machete. And we know the witness before her testified to that surveillance footage from the store. Appears to show the defendant purchasing a machete. So everything is aligning. Let's hit a break. When we come back, oh, it's time for the cross of the acquaintance.
Tragedy on the Mississippi, a young mother executed
and her 2-day-old daughter allegedly thrown into the river.
Now the baby's father stands trial for double murder.
The Baby in the River murder trial, today, only on Court TV.
The brutal murders of 2 young girls.
Delphi is not one of those places where this would happen.
I killed Abby and Melody.
Victim to Verdict with Ted Rowlands. Season premieres Saturday night, 8 Eastern and Pacific.
Only on Court TV.
Let's say it was the defendant at the bar leaving the scene after accident resulting in death. The defendant not guilty or guilty? So say you, Mr. Foreman? So say you all? Jurors, hearken your verdict as the court records that you upon your oath say the defendant on 001 is not guilty, on 002 is guilty of operating under the influence of liquor, and 003 not guilty. Thank you.
Coming up today, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, Karen Reed returns to court, this time for her civil lawsuit. The family of John O'Keefe is suing Karen Reed for wrongful death. The lawsuit follows Reed's not guilty verdict in June for the murder of her boyfriend, John O'Keefe. Reed's attorneys, Elizabeth Little and Alan Jackson, are expected to be arguing a motion to dismiss one portion of the wrongful death claim. Stay with Court TV for continuing coverage on the case. Right now, though, let's go back to the Machete plot murder trial in Iowa. We've got defendant Dakota Van Patten accused of helping his friend kidnap and murder his girlfriend. The victim, 20-year-old Melody Hoffman. Let's hear more from the defendant's acquaintance.
You said earlier in the week you saw with the machete. How many days prior to this date would that have been?
I think it was on a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
So several days prior to the day we're talking about?
Yes.
And back in February, you and Dakota had only known each other for about 2 to 3 months. Does that sound right?
Yeah. We met in December, so yeah.
And I think you said the two of you were sort of mutual acquaintances but not friends. Is that right?
Correct.
And am I correct that the two of you were never romantically involved?
Correct.
And so is it safe to say that you guys weren't close, you didn't share secrets together, that type of thing?
No.
You mentioned that he came over in the middle of the night. What time do you think it was that he came over to your house?
I'm not exactly sure exactly at what time.
Well, We talk about middle of the night. What's middle of the night to you?
Like 11, not 10, 11. I usually go to bed a little bit early, but I mean 10, 11.
So you think he came over to your house about 10 or 11 o'clock at night, is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not for sure exactly what exact time, but around that time frame, I'm pretty sure.
And if you testified at an earlier time in this case, it was about 8 or 9. Do you think it's 8 or 9, or do you think it's 10 or 11?
I mean, it could be, yeah. I just, like I said, I don't remember exactly what time it was. All I know it was dark. It seemed like it was later than maybe I think. I mean, I really don't remember. I never looked at the time, never checked the time.
But you're saying somewhere in that 8 to 11 region, correct?
Yes.
So what we're not talking about is like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning?
No.
Definitely not that time, right?
No.
And to be clear, this was on February 18th, so it'd be like February 17th going into the 18th, sort of that Saturday to Sunday?
Yes.
And so if he came over in the night hours, we'd be talking more the February 17th, correct?
Correct.
Now, after he told you that he had committed some sort of a murder, did you call the police?
No, I was frightened. I was worried that he would come after me for trying to do the right thing and call the cops.
Now, you eventually did speak to police about this matter, correct?
Yes, I did.
And if I told you that Melody Hoffman was found on February 18th, when do you think in relation to that date you first spoke with police about this matter?
I mean, I didn't, like, what are you trying to say? I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was just trying to give you a point of reference. Do you think it was maybe a couple of days after this, on February 20th, that you spoke to police?
Yeah, I think it was like the 25th. I'm not for sure. I'm pretty sure it was like the 20th to like the 26th or 25th that they came to my house.
And when you did that, the police came out to your house, correct?
Yes, they did.
And is it fair to say when you were first talking to the police, you were nervous and you weren't perhaps honest with them?
Yes.
And then they asked you to be honest, and that's when you...
And then that's when I told the whole thing. I was just nervous. I've never experienced anything like this before, so I didn't really, the proper way. So, and yes, at first I was very nervous.
Now, by that time, part of the reason you were nervous is that you knew that Mr. Louisma and Mr. Van Patten were at least thought to be suspects in this matter.
I mean, yeah. I mean, after he told me, I was just, I was going to do anything if a cop came up to me or anything to help out any way I can with the evidence, the stuff I heard and got told. I mean, what he did was not okay, and I believe, I will do anything, like I said, to help the case, and,
But even though you wanted to do anything to help, it still took police coming out to your residence for you to talk to them, correct?
Because I was nervous, yes.
Okay. But in that period of time, in between the time they found Melody and you had this conversation with Dakota, and the time that you spoke to police, did you learn, either through the news or through some friends you've been speaking with, that the police were looking for Dakota and the police were looking for McKinley as possible suspects in this case?
I didn't really know they were looking for them. I figured. But I just kept out of it, and I, waited to when I needed to tell.
But it was...
Couple of matters we have to address. Matter number one, yes, this witness is wearing clothes, although from the shot, the camera angle, the way she's sitting in the box, it's hard to see, but she's wearing something strapless to court, something strapless. Not sure if it's a tube top, not sure if it's a strapless dress. But when she moved her hair back, you were probably thinking what many of us were thinking here at Court TV. It looks like a lot of skin, and the way she's sitting in the witness box, you can't tell. But she is clothed. I will say this, and all of you who know me know, I was brought up with very strict trial team circumstances. I was a trial team kid in law school where professional, polished, formal dress was everything. And in practice, sometimes judges are looser with what comes in the courtroom. I can't imagine any of the judges I practiced in front of allowing someone to come in that bare in the courtroom. Just saying. There's just a professionalism and a decorum that must be maintained. And judges oftentimes will tell, witnesses, defendants, whoever it is, cover up. Come back to court if you aren't appropriately dressed. And so I'm curious why that hasn't happened here. Let me bring in attorney David Gelman. He's watching along with us. David, I want you to weigh in here. Your thoughts on this, please.
So, Julie, I was thinking the exact same thing. Look, you and I, we've been brought up kind of the same way. I've never gone into court, or I've never really seen another attorney go into court if you're not wearing a suit and a tie, or if you're a woman with, something professional. It is amazing, though, when I go into court and I see defendants and how they dress. I mean, literally, and I'm not joking here, some of them wear pajamas. So you see everything. And some judges, they are very strict. They will say, get out of my courtroom. If you're wearing a hat, see you later, get out. But there are other judges who are much more liberal when it comes to the dress code, if you will. So this judge potentially is a little more liberal when it comes to that, I guess. Now, look, if it was me, I would never allow this to happen in court, because the courtroom is a professional environment. You should always dress the part. But, judges we're in a different time now, but.
Right. Yeah, you're exactly right, David. Some judges just let things go, and she's on the stand. She is clothed, although we can't really see it because of the angle. David Gelman, you are beautifully dressed as always, coming on Court TV. Thank you much.